mother's savings were diminishing and I wanted to secure a job before her savings perished. Doctor, I understand that I am not well yet. I'm still finding it very difficult to breathe, but I have to go to Ahmedabad for my placements. I was offered one of the worst salaries of the entire batch. This job that I secured with half of my chest ripped open. This job offer was revoked by Vanity Fair Urban Brands 10 days before my joining in 2008 because of global financial crisis. This is how the X-ray of a normal healthy person looks like. Both the lungs should be as dark as possible. If there is even a small white spot anywhere, it can mean TB. What X-ray of my lung looked like. 80% of my left lung had fluid in it. Basically, I was breathing with only 1.2 lungs. My family wanted to celebrate my birthday in the hospital room. Who knew if there was going to be another birthday or not? Can we normalize mental therapy in India so that post-trauma stress disorder is taken care of? I have one question for the unmarried folks. Have you ever slept with someone? You don't have to answer that. I sense a little discomfort there. Okay, a question for the married ones now. Do you sleep with your spouse? A little discomfort there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, when I said sleep, I did not mean S-E-X. But I like the way you think. When I said sleep, I meant the physiological activity in which you take rest, in which sometimes you dream, sometimes you don't, in which sometimes you snore, sometimes you fart, in which sometimes you kick the person sleeping next to you unknowingly, and most of the times knowingly. Sleep. So do you sleep with your spouse? And if the answer is no, then who in the world are you sleeping with, my friend? And if the answer is yes, then why are you sleeping? Get some action. Now, that is S-E-X-U-A-L. So we will censor that bit. Beep, 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 beep. And again the same question. Do you sleep with your spouse? Let's assume the answer is yes. Then what side of the bed do you sleep on? Now for the unmarried ones, here is a little general awareness. See, we the married ones, we don't sleep on any side of the bed. It's not like today I will sleep on the left side, tomorrow right, left, right, left, right. That would be really chaotic. We sleep on one particular side and everyone has a reason to pick that side. For example, somebody would say, I sleep on the left hand side of the bed because there is this reading lamp and I like to read late at night. Somebody would say, I sleep on the right hand side of the bed because there is this mobile charging point and I like to charge my mobile to chat late at night with my boyfriend or girlfriend, the person whom actually I don't sleep with. Somebody would say, I sleep on the left hand side of the bed because the balcony is on the right side, and if the ghost comes late at night, I want him to kill my wife first. So everybody has a reason. For example, I sleep on the left side of the bed. So if this is the bed, this is where I sleep. And I have my own reason. You want to know my reason? Okay, I'll tell you. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Davashish Srivastava. A big hello to all of you. Today I'll be speaking to you about something which is hushed in our society. I'll be speaking to you about certain sounds from my past which still haunt me in the present and sometimes even hunt my future. I'll be talking to you about post-trauma stress disorder, PTSD. But before that, why do I sleep on the left side of the bed? You're really curious, aren't you? Have some patience. I'll give you the answer of this question in about the 17th minute of this speech. But before that, to tell you the answer, I'll have to take you through a story. So here is the story. Flashback, year 2005. I went to Ahmedabad for my MBA. Now don't get overexcited. It was not IIM Ahmedabad. IIM guys were way too unlucky or unfortunate to have me. I went to Ahmedabad for my MBA, and unlike the movie Three Idiots, when you go for an MBA college or an engineering college, your first objective is not excellence. Your first objective is to secure a great placement offer with a very strong salary. Similar was my thought process. I thought 2 years of hard work and then there will be good money. Girls in my life will have better restaurants to dine in. Boys in my life will have something better to drink than old monk. A friend of mine and I even went to the extent of deciding that if any company which comes for the placements to the campus, if that company offers less than 1.5 times of the average salary of the previous batch, we will not even appear for the interview. When you are young, that is the kind of confidence you have. Well, year 2005 became 2006. In 2006, and I am emphasizing on dates and years because these are the important things in this story. In 2006, the placements were on 21st of November. We were told that the placements would be starting on 21st of November, followed by a 10 days intense campus placement season. In 2006, Diwali was on 21st of October. So I went to my hometown Agra to celebrate Diwali holidays. 24th of October is my birthday. So I celebrated Diwali and I celebrated my birthday with my family. Just by chance, Saxena uncle, my father's friend, he visited us on 21st of October with his daughter Rini. Now to my surprise, Rini, who from the very childhood used to call me Bhaiya, this time around she was calling me Devashish. What a transformation. From Bhaiya, I had turned into Devashish, and not only Devashish, I had become flirtable Devashish. This was a day when I understood the meaning of turning into an eligible bachelor. What a birthday it was. So on 25th of October, I left for Ahmedabad. On 26th of October, I got a little fever. I thought I'm exhausted because of festivities and travel. So I popped a pill of paracetamol. The fever went away. On 27th of October, the fever came back, and this time I also had a little muscular pain in my left side of my back. I thought to visit the doctor because placements were hardly a month away. So Pramil, a friend of mine, and I, we borrowed a bike and we went to see the doctor. Doctor did his stethoscope thing, and then he said, Devashish, I'm going to ask you to go for an X-ray. I said, an X-ray? What for? Pramil and I looked at each other and we laughed. But you know, the doctors, they never laugh when you do. So we went for the X-ray. We came back with the X-ray report. Doctor saw the X-ray report and he said, Devashish, where is your family? I said, in Agra. Why? Now, this was not sounding funny. He said, you may have to spend the night in the hospital. And I would request that you call your family from Agra as early as possible. Now, this sounded really serious. My fever was increasing. I was feeling desperate. I was made to sit in a corner. I overheard Pramil calling my family to come over as soon as possible to pick me up. The scene changes 29th of October 2006. I am back to Agra. The doctor in Agra is telling me, Devashish, you have got a little liquid in your left lung. You have got lung infection. Now, in the crude language, let me tell you, what he was telling me is that I had got TB, tuberculosis. Now, for everyone's general knowledge and to flaunt a little research that I have done, every year, about 10 million people, a crore people world across get infected by tuberculosis, of which about 1.4 million people die. That gives us a mortality rate of 14%. For a stupid comparison's sake, what is the mortality rate of COVID-19? About 1.8% to 2%. TB's mortality rate is 14%. Unfortunately, our brains have been groomed in such a way that unless we hear 4 words, cancer, heart attack, paralysis, and AIDS, we don't take any illness as seriously. Similar was my thought process again. I thought, just TB, what is the big deal? It turned into a big deal when the treatment started. So what happens is, when you have a little liquid in your lung, what they do is that they try to dry it out through medicines. But when the amount of liquid in your lung is more than a little more than a little, what they do is that they take a thick needle, a syringe, and they puncture your lung from the backside. They insert that needle inside your lung, and when that needle goes inside, it makes a thud, tuk. And when the needle is inside your lung, your entire body frame is in the hands of the person who is holding the needle. And then that person sucks the fluid out through the syringe. Have you seen those horror movies? When the spirit goes out of the body, how does the body react? Similar used to be my reaction. Whenever he used to suck the liquid out, my body used to go like, that pain. It used to be pain of a different level. Actually, it used to be suffering. I was made to go through this treatment of needle thing 4 times till 17th of November. And that is when I had to request doctor, I understand that I am not well yet. I am still finding it very difficult to breathe. But I have to go to Ahmedabad for my placements. And you know why I had to go there? Because I had to secure a job. After all, I didn't want Rini to call me Bhaiya again. Old monk is a poison. And the worst thing, my mother's savings were diminishing and I wanted to secure a job before her savings perished. Doctor said, okay Devashish, you want to go for the placements? I won't stop you, but I must show you the x-ray of your lung so that you understand how serious it is. Now for everyone's knowledge here, this is how the x-ray of a normal healthy person looks like. Both the lungs should be as dark as possible. If there is even a small white spot anywhere, it can mean TB, it can mean cancer or anything as serious. Now let me show you what x-ray of my lung looked like. This is what it looked like. 80% of my left lung had fluid in it. Basically, I was breathing with only 1.2 lungs, and that's why I was not able to breathe and speak at all. I went to Ahmedabad on 21st of November. Placement started as was scheduled. Walking from one interview hall to the other interview hall was a marathon for me. And speaking inside those interview room after that walk used to be an ultra marathon. The whole placement season had turned into a circus for me. And you know the worst part? I was the joker in the circus. On the second last day of the campus placement season, I was the third last person to get selected by any company. Do you remember that 1.5 times of the average salary? All of that had become a faraway dream. I was offered one of the worst salaries of the entire batch. Now let's fast forward the whole story by a year. 24th of October 2007. I am on a hospital bed inside a hospital room. It's not a normal hospital room, it's a decorated room. Why decorated? You may remember by now that my birthday is on 24th of October. My family wanted to celebrate my birthday inside a hospital room, but why did they want to celebrate it inside a hospital room? Because a lot happened over the last 1 year. That job that I had secured last year, that had to be given away because I could not finish my MBA due to shortage of attendance. And the college allowed me to finish my MBA with my juniors, and they also allowed me to appear in the campus placements with my juniors, which was this year scheduled on 23rd of November 2007. Yet again, only less than a month away. Circle of life sometimes is such vicious. A lot more happened. You know that needle procedure? I was taken through that 3 times again, but seemingly that became insufficient because supposedly my lungs were making more water than ever created by the water tap in the government school that I was educated in. I was taken through another procedure in which they used to puncture my lung through a pipe and they used to drain out the liquid through that pipe inside a bag. Even that turned insufficient because my TB had turned into a drug-resistant tuberculosis, because of which things had gone so serious that they had to operate my lung. They had to conduct a 3-hour-long major surgery on my left lung, which was done on 8th of October 2007, 16 days before my birthday. To my dismay at that time, that surgery had gone awfully wrong, because of which they had to do a corrective surgery on 25th of October, 1 day after my birthday. And that is the reason my family wanted to celebrate my birthday in the hospital room. Who knew if there was going to be another birthday or not? Rini also called me one of these days. This time around she was calling me Bhaiya. And why not? Davashish had gained 20 kilograms of weight because of heavy dosage of steroid and turned into bhaiya. My career was definitely shaking. Everybody knows that by now. At this stage, let's give a positive swing to this whole story. The operation that was conducted on 25th of October, the corrective one, was a successful operation. I still had a pipe coming out of my lung with a bag attached to it, but doctor told me that this can be done away after 15 days after the operation. On around 15th of November, this thing was done away, but I used to have heavy bandages because the incision was quite heavy, quite big. And that bandage was going to remain there for a while. I requested my family on 15th of November that they should allow me to go to Ahmedabad only for one day, one interview. Vanity Fair Urban Brands, one of the most coveted companies by the marketing students at that time, had shortlisted my CV for the interview round. So I requested my family to allow me to go there only for one day. There was a lot of argument that happened, but finally they conceded. I went to Ahmedabad only for one day. I appeared in that interview and I got selected. I appeared in an interview with heavy bandages inside my business suit. Despite of all of that, I got selected. Finally, a good news. But at this stage, a little observation and some suggestions for the youngsters here. This job that I secured with half of my chest ripped open, this job offer was revoked by Vanity Fair Urban Brands 10 days before my joining in 2008 because of global financial crisis. They revoked all the offers. No job offer, no placement, campus placement, no promotion, position, designation is more important than your happiness, than your mental stability. Have a long-term vision about these things because these things come and these things go. I have spent about 14 and a half years in hospitality industry in development function, and I can call myself reasonably successful, reasonably okay. I have done okay for myself over the last 14 and a half years. That mishap did not even matter in the long term. With that little yarn to youngsters, now let me address the elephant in the room. Why do I sleep on the left side of the bed, right? There is something called post-trauma stress disorder. In English movies, they show when somebody comes back from a war, somebody goes through a rape assault or a physical assault or a physical accident. These people are taken through a mental therapy so that they also heal mentally. The stress caused by this trauma doesn't stick to them for their lifetime. But unfortunately in India, mental health is least of anyone's worries. Everybody focuses only on physical well-being. In 2006, when I used to sleep with 80% of my left lung filled with liquid, and whenever I used to turn leftwards, that liquid in my lung used to make a sound. Gut, 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 gut. The sound of liquid moving, gut, gut, gut. It used to make a sound whenever I used to turn leftwards. Fortunately, this sound did not used to be there when I used to turn rightwards, for some reason. Even till date, almost 15 years from that recovery, I do not turn left while sleeping. That is the kind of impact, that is the kind of effect those sounds from my past have had on my present. My family struggles with the stress that I have carried from that year of my life. 15 years, I have had a normal life. I have run 5 half marathons. I run for about 5 to 6 kilometers every day. I have had ups and downs of my share in my life, just like a normal person. But even till date, I sneeze once and I turn into a psycho within my household, within my family. I avoid going to a hospital even to visit someone for a childbirth, simply because I am scared of hospitals. That is the kind of insecurity around my health I have carried from that recovery from my illness. I so wish I was taken through some kind of mental therapy back then, something that I actually intend to go for now. I so wish that people are healed mentally as well when they go through a physical illness. I so wish families take care of that bit. But as a society, we have become so insensitive. We meet an acquaintance after a while and we ask questions like, hey, you have lost hair. Hey, you have gained weight. Who knows if a person has lost hair, gained weight, or has gone broke because of a major illness in his past? Can we be a little sensitive about these things and leave the acquaintances apart? Within our close family and friends, can we be a little sensitive and not sympathetic to sit with a person who is going through a difficult time, such as major illness or recovery from a major illness, and understand his mental condition? Can we be wise, persuasive, and intelligent enough to tell the person to go for mental therapy as well while he or she is healing physically? Can we normalize mental therapy in India so that post-trauma stress disorder is taken care of? Let me tell you a fact over here. 15 to 20% of people who recover from a major illness go through post-trauma stress disorder. And of 100% of people who go through post-trauma stress disorder, 27% people are likely to commit a suicide in their lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, this is serious. We need to make mental health, mental therapy of people who recover from a major illness normal. At this stage, I also have something to say to those people who are going through a difficult time, who are struggling with a major illness, or who have recovered from it but are still insecure about their mental condition. This is not only a phase, but also a reality of your life. Just go through it, my dear friend. It's just a mishap that can happen to anyone, and you have no other option but to go through it. 10 years down the line, it would matter only in one way, and that is that you would turn out to be a much more stronger person mentally. You would have a much better outlook towards life than people who have never gone through a struggle in their life. That said, there's one more reason because of which I sleep on the left side of the bed. See, I have been married for more than a decade now. If I try switching my side now, can you imagine what my wife is going to think? She is going to give me another trauma because of which I may have stress, and PTSD caused by that may not go for a lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my message to all of you. Thanks a lot for giving me a time. Care of yourself.